Hello, hello, good evening everyone. How are you? Happy Shogi Day! Alright guys, so today we will watch the 27th Oyama Meijin Cup Kurashiki-Toka tournament. And this is the title match, as you can see on the screen, between Satomi Kana and Ito Sae. Ito Sae is the challenger. Satomi-san is the ladies 5 crown. She recently lost one of her titles to Nishiyama-san, so it's down to 5. Just a few words what is actually Kurashiki-Toka. So Kurashiki is actually a city in Japan, and if I'm right, the Toka is the wisteria flower. This is wisteria. So basically what we call Satomi is like the flower, wisteria flower of the Kurashiki, kind of. So it's like very unusual title. Like, you know, you have the Meijin, ladies Osho, but here you have this unusual title, Kurashiki-Toka, Kurashiki wisteria flower, kind of. So the game was played in Tottori Prefecture, Yonago City, in Yonago Kaike Onsen Kasuitei, which is actually a very long name for a hotel in Yonago City. So the game was played 1 week ago, November 10th. The time for the game was 2 hours, chess clock, and 1 minute byomi. And let's see how the beginning of the match was. So here you can see Nishimura sensei, who's the kind of coordinator of the game. And here is Ito Sae coming to the room, which is kind of unusual, I guess. Looks like a hotel room, but not usual hotel room. And Satomi-san, Satomi Kurashiki-Toka, puts on the pieces. And then they set it up. And you have somebody who is actually called Tanaka, and he is this tournament executive committee chairman. So he was, instead of usual Kiroku Gakari, he was the one doing the furigoma. So here is the furigoma, and the result was 3 tokens, which means that Ito ladies 3-Dan was sente. And after a small bow, they both started playing. Alright, let's go back to the game. Sente will be Ito Sae ladies 3-Dan, and Gote is Satomi Kana Kurashiki-Toka. So it all started seemingly normally, and suddenly you have this edge pound push, which is kinda normal in double Furibisha game. Depending on your opponent's response, you're gonna play differently. And here you can see that seeing that move, Ito closed her bishop diagonal. And this seems like a natural development for a double swinging rook. But this is not what happened actually. And after few moves, you can see that again both sides pushes the pawn. And here, something unusual. Satomi-san took the vanguard pawn in the center of the board. This kind of strategy is called central vanguard pawn, and it would already indicate that she's not going to play Furibisha. Or so I think. It could be still Nakabisha, but alright. It kind of gives a different flow to the game. After that, you can see Sente decided on the opposing rook, and Satomi-san started moving the other silver. And here finally showing that it's the usual static rook versus opposing rook opening, central vanguard pawn opening. So one quick tip, that I'm not very experienced in this opening, apart from one thing guys. If you ever gonna play this side, the Furibisha side, try to not push this pawn. If you push this pawn too early, it's gonna be a target for this silver and this knight. So it is tempting to open the bishop diagonal and kinda make some quick attacks. It usually doesn't work as quickly, as smoothly as you would think. That's just from my experience. Alright, now we will move many moves forward. So both sides gonna make castle. Gote is gonna vanguard this pawn using 2 silvers. And Sente is making the high mino. And around here, there was a prediction that at some point Sente will counterattack over here. And for example, they were also commenting if Gote would try different thing, like try developing this knight before, it might tempt Sente to attack its head. So this is why she didn't move the knight so early. So here one of the professionals commented that central vanguard pawn is not often played against opposing rook in his feeling. The reason for that could be that the king defense is weak. And it is hard to play rapid shogi for that reason, like fast-paced shogi. Not much thinking time. But maybe because it's title match they have more time to think. It will be possible to play firmly and not make a mistake for Gote, so maybe it's playable. And move 36. Suddenly Satomi started attacking on the 6th file. Here there was a professional commentary. They gave us 2 lines. One which is going for real fight. Can Gote go for fighting in fighting mode? That probably not. So after taking this pawn, if you go like this, it seems like you have a good attack over here. So if you take this, you have good attack, but there is this move, and it would be still unclear whenever Gote can attack strongly. So they proposed another line in case Sente takes this pawn, which was silver takes, pawn drop, silver back, simply meaning that Gote takes the advantage of the pawn exchange, natural development, and for example next this side builds the silver crown and keeps on playing naturally. So this could be possible, right? But again, Gote would have this pawn in hand, so maybe Center is not eager to take this pawn, and she didn't take it. She moved the rook back here. There is this proverb, move your rook to the line that's under attack, and so she did it. So also, as you can notice, both sides have a castle. Gote have the boat castle, kind of, and Sente has the Mino castle. I would say that Sente's castle is little more solid, but the benefits of vanguard pawn are a big plus as well. So it's either being solid or having control over the center type of game. Satomi-san jumps with the knight, and I think there was a cool variation here. Pawn push, gold tap, rook down, pawn push, bishop takes, pawn takes, no, pawn takes, silver up, lance, rook. So why is it cool variation is that nobody wants to take those pawns, and it kinda becomes Zugzwang type of position. I found it funny. At some point it will be taken, but it was one of those variations where you move all the other pieces waiting. It's pretty funny. It's this kind of shogi where it might appear. Again, you cannot take this pawn because then 8th line will be broken, right? Only this side will have activated rook and the other one won't have. Kokokara. Okay, from now on, if you do this and this, okay, now it makes sense. Then the knight jump, silver goes down, and pawn 5-5. It was said that it was checked by one professionals. He was reading very deeply and he said it's passable for Furibisha. It's enough, kind of. It's not like super, but it's okay. So here this attack would be okay for Furibisha. By the way, I checked this game with computer I didn't prepare like the picture of the analysis, but so far up until certain point Sente will have little bit of advantage, and I'm gonna notify you guys where there was a big change in points difference, where it was the big fluctuation. So far it was very equal game. Okay, so Sente counter attacks on the center line. Gote tries to activate the knight. Oh, both are usual strategies. And now the big fight comes. So Satomi activates her other silver, and here Ito starts attacking on the edge. And kind of, I think nobody predicted this move. It was said that it was styled, that Ito's style kind of move. One thing about those kind of edges attacks is that it's very slow. And by what I mean by being slow is, as you can notice, is the furthest possible file from the king. So one of the strategies is actually to ignore it, which Satomi-san does, and moving your attack closer to the king. So she makes the king stronger, moving the gold closer to the king, and after the edge pawn is taken, she runs away, putting the rook in this very nice column. So if you guys have ever like problem countering something on one column, one way is to just ignore it completely and create weakness on other column. So here Satomi-san counters and the fight begins. Ito-san takes the 5-5 pawn, which Satomi retakes with this silver, opening the rook. And here, as the silver seems to be taken, the attack comes on this file. Okay, so what happens if you take it here? This silver gets activated and maybe the rook and silver activates here. So naturally this silver is taken and this token is taken, and here knight jump. So they were considering, instead of knight, they were considering the pawn drop in the post-game discussion. Bishop takes, silver 5-5, take, promote, offering rook exchange. This is good for Gote. So when you take the pawn, you should probably take it using the rook, which is even longer variation. Knight jump, knight, pawn. The reason for this pawn is you wanna protect the silver and activate the knight. Bishop runs from the knight. Rook 5-5. Silver 5-6 drop. Rook 5-1, as you see, now it's attacking the rook. Still ignoring that because it's being protected. Pawn drop. And then this weird move, 7-9. Silver distracting this bishop from the rook. But there is this kind of move. If you take it, you know, you take the bishop and then you promote the pawn. So here you're forced to take this and the silver becomes a little bit useless. And then Sente activates the rook. So obviously Sente lost her bishop, but her knight is activated, her rook is activated, so it was judged that this kind of position would be difficult to say who's better. Gote has better material advantage, Sente has better piece activity. So that was one variation to consider. But Satomi-san jumped with the knight simply. And here there is a cool move that was actually predicted, ignoring this knight completely and pushing 5-4 pawn. So as we talked before, if you take the bishop, the silver is taken for free, so it's kinda exchange bishop for the knight. So it's pretty good move, and this pawn is alive together with this knight attacking at the center. So it seems that Gote is forced to take it with the rook. The bishop survives, it's being exchanged, and Sente has the chance to achieve this beautiful sabaki for her bishop. And here I actually checked it with computer. After rook 5-3, it seemed that Sente had 300 points advantage. 300 points advantage is not too much, although it might be significant for real top professionals. And the next move, it seemed like it was this point fluctuation that I was mentioning before. Sente lost those 300 points in one move. What she played was to drop the silver here, which looks natural, but it allows Gote to exchange the rook for bishop. What computer proposed, and I don't really want to show because I don't understand the meaning of this move, was to attack very strongly, like this. I don't understand the meaning of this move, but it would seem to me it goes with the thing we talked before. Gote's king has very thin defenses, so aggressive attack could be good. What was commented by other professionals was actually bishop promotion here. But that's not what happened. Maybe one line they were actually commenting is like silver drop here, but again the silver is taken for free, so it was quite difficult variations. Maybe this is why she didn't play it. So silver drop, rook takes the bishop, pawn drop, rook takes it, bishop drop, rook runs, and pawn drop here. And again, around this move, the advantage changed again. Gote was 400 points plus, up until few moves from now. The pawn drop protects the pawn. Here is this tricky bishop. It was also commented very deeply in the post-game discussion. The question is, where should the rook go? In the game it went to 5-9. The other options they were discussing was 7-9 and 6-8. So let's see some of those comments. 7-9 rook was bishop promotion. Then you take this silver for free. Pawn promotes because you have more pieces attacking this square. You can take the gold for the knight. Your rook is under attack, but you ignore it. Gold runs. Rook drop. Be careful of this bishop here. And gold drop here. And the conclusion in the post-game discussion was that both sides were not confident. So maybe it was a tough game. Yeah, very crazy variations. Okay. And the thing that computer proposed, and again it was discussed in post-game discussion, which according to computer was 400 points good for Sente, was rook 6-8. Bishop can take the knight, but after you take this silver, you're forced to block the rook. The rook escapes protecting the lance, which means you have to take it. 6-8 promotion, taking the knight. So here you take those two pieces, including the attacking knight, which is nice feeling. You take this, rook drop here, rook drop here. You can drop the silver, king runs, and there was something like this. And even though both sides seems to be like attacking and it's a crazy variation, Ito-san again said she had no confidence in this line. I actually didn't check this line with computer. I just assumed. Yeah, but it did look very tough for Sente, having the king up on 2-7 square, and Gote is attacking with big energy, right? Alright, so unfortunately she moved the rook here, which gave advantage to Gote. The reason for that is that suddenly Sente is left with only rook to attack. So it seems that indeed the leader of the position changed. Next move was silver escaping, and you see Sente doesn't have any way to take more pieces easily. She's forced to take the rook here, drop the rook here to take the lance, but actually there was also one more move to consider, which was this pawn push, forcing the bishop to go back. which could be attacked here. Then that would be ignored. Pawn takes, bishop escapes. But here you can move the rook again up here. And apparently this position will be difficult again. Quite tricky, eh? After the rook drop, Satomi played this move, and then Ito-san decided to like make the escaping route for the rook. And yet, this is the last post-game discussion comment in this game, was that the only way to go was to move the rook here again. And there are two variations. One that's not good for Gote, which is to promote bishop here, pawn push, bishop escapes, promoted silver goes here, you cannot take it because this gold will be taken for free, pawn promotion, and this interesting counter over here. If you take, the token is taken for free, so it probably will be an equal exchange. So much better than just running away with the rook. You actually make this token useless, while Sabaki that rook for the bishop, including few attacking moves like 5-3, promoted silver and pawn push. So this would be very good for Sente actually. Therefore, after this, better response would be to promote bishop on this side. Again, pawn for 5 comes, and this silver is activated, and then pawn promotion takes, taking this gold, gold retakes is the only move, and again this rook is activated. And if you get the silver in hand, at any point you can drop a piece here and continue attacking. So it would be actually very tough situation for Gote. And Ito-san finally agreed that this variation would be better than actual game. So it seems that Sente had some chances here. Although again, in the computer analysis, it seemed that Gote had advantage already. Let me check how many points actually in this position. 200 points. Okay, yeah, so it's still very tough game. And computer actually shows the same variation, so they were completely right. It would be near equal game. The activation of this rook was crucial in the previous and this position. So she didn't do that. She didn't move the rook. The last chance is gone. She made the escaping route. Naturally, Satomi-san attacked with the token, pawn push and pawn push here. And there was this interesting comment by Professional that maybe still at this position this silver move was better. There was one variation shown like this. And of course, you know, Gote is attacking, but the difference is this promoted silver was actually useful. And the fact that she pushed this pawn here, it makes a flaw in Sente's position, and it would be better to avoid it. And I kind of felt very moved by the fact that you would think of this move right now instead of this. It seems like this is weakness, but activation of the pieces that you don't use seemed like even better as a result. And it's a move that usually strong professionals do. They activate the pieces they don't use. Yeah, actually this pawn does a good job, like defensive role, right? But this silver not. So this is why probably when you're strong you immediately want to use this silver. So I felt kind of like, whoa, this is how I should be playing. And indeed, this silver was actually became unused until the end of the game, as we're gonna see soon. So yeah, she attacked on the weakness still, the bishop's head. But the problem is it was a little bit slow yet, because the disadvantage was big. The bishop can escape. Oh, and here is pretty good move. So it seems the bishop can be taken, right? And then, whoa, I attack the king, it's good. The silver is taken, and whoa, my rook is attacking here too. Isn't Gote in trouble? Actually not. She can simply retake it. It's a little bit scary, but if you look clearly, there's only bishop and pawns, and apparently this position was okay. Well, I am amazed. Apparently this was okay. So actually she's forced to take this token here. Gote can escape again. So why did she take this now is that because the bishop is here, this kind of move exists, trapping the rook next. So she's kind of forced to take the lance, but yet she can use it nicely to attack. But here, guys, maybe let's think a little bit about this position. If you would be Satomi's side, what would you play here? It's the decisive moment of the game. Yeah, so knight is good, I think, but actually Satomi played this one. I think the knight is good too. The problem could be... I'm not sure. I think it's good, I think. She played this because you cannot take this. The dragon is on the line of the bishop, actually. And here Sente tries her last chance to counterattack. And another cool move. Completely ignoring that attack and dropping, like concentrating on the attack only. So she has to take the bishop. The gold is taken. How would you decide the game? And the next move is really cool, I promise you. And this is the decisive move of the game, the last attacking line. Using the bishop is crucial, but the best move, the best square to use it is actually here. And the reason is you cannot take it. Gold drop. And the silver was here, but it's not anymore. So actually she cannot take it. And it's protecting this bishop drop 5-5. 2 birds with 1 stone. Well, Gote has nothing to do but to try to protect the silver. And here Satomi-san continues attacking with the gold, this time attacking this square. It can be taken, but she drops another one. The king's escape. And the rook is taken, which is checkmate. Here or here, and there is no defense. There's no defense, and the only chance Sente has is to try to escape, try to checkmate the goddess king. And what Sion said is trying attack on 3-3, exactly the last problem of the day. How do you escape from checkmate? And or is there actually a checkmate? Maybe there is no escape. So of course you could like take it, but then the checks would continue, like pawn drop and stuff like this. It might be not clear, but actually the clearest way to escape is king 1-3. There is a way to like continue checking, but it's not effective. And since there is no defense for Sente, and there is not Sume for Sente, no way to continue checking, this is the position where Ito resigned. Satomi-san took the first game on her way to defend the title. The next game will be on November 23rd in Kurashiki City, and we will be commenting it as well on this channel. How did you like the game, guys? It was very unusual opening, old style. I think we saw pretty cool, few cool Tessugis, like the horse on 5-6. Yeah, so that's all. Oh, I wanted to show you photos. My memory. So this is after the game they go to the room where people come to watch the commentary, live commentary, and they give a award. So yeah, they both kinda said that they're gonna do their best in the second game, and Ito-san also said she lost, but she's gonna do her best so that the third game will take place. And here is, after that, they do the post-game discussion. And this is how it looked. Alright guys, this is all for the title match. And next week we're gonna comment the second game of Kurashiki. And we're gonna see if Satomi-san defends her title again. Hope you enjoyed, and have a nice Shogi day. Bye bye.